And when I don't over prepare for something that's annoying, I expect you to manage yourself, to maintain composure, even when I haven't prepared.
Yep. And I think that this was kind of the point, was like, this is what we expect of you in level 1 of Adolescent Academy, is to start showing up as a curious Neufeld, like in the same way that you go and talk to the moms at a play date. Like, that's kind of the energy that we want you to bring everywhere.
Yep. And the reason why she's going to be in level 1 for a while is because all of these are skills that we are happy to scaffold right now, right? And I think we are, that's what this level is all about. I love the heuristic that I heard once from Wellness Mama of, I do it, we do it, you do it.
Yep.
And so much of what we're talking about here in level 1 is we do it. And when she's ready to graduate to level 2, it will be because she has been able to take on a lot of those things. And so now it's a you do it, Hunter, yourself.
Yeah, we're moving from concierge to mentor and eventually to consultant.
Yeah. Yes. I like the move from concierge to mentor. I'm not sure. I'm not ready to move to consultant.
No. Consultant is when she's like 18 or 25, right?
Yeah. That was actually, Jade started crying when we had this initial conversation about the path and about what Adolescent Academy means. And she was just really scared that it meant Hunter would leave us.
I know.
And then Hunter drew like a big circle, like her contribution to the map that I drew was by kind of Xing out the part that says climb your own mountains and saying, well, really drawing a dotted line around the part that says climb your own mountains. And she wrote, not right now.
Yeah.
And so, this is probably just me always wanting to future cast so much that like they are very, very focused on staying with us for as long as possible. Like the idea of going to college really scares them, which is fine. They are 8 and 6 years old. And so all we're really trying to say to her right now is that we are now in a co-creation phase. Whereas, I mean, it's true. It's so true, though, that like just in the past couple of months, she started to do things that I can't do. Everything from like curling your tongue to climbing a rope to solving some of our logic puzzles. That's new. I used to be able to do everything better.
Yeah. The app that we had for when the kids were little, the Wonder Weeks, that said all the leaps that they were going through, does not go through age 18.
Right.
But she definitely went through a leap.
She definitely went through a leap. And so therefore, it's our job as leaders of our family to notice that and to not reprimand without explaining, right? But to really say, okay, you're ready. It is time that we start co-creating what your adolescence looks like. I'm not outsourcing it to you. I intend to be fully involved, your primary attachment for this entire period of time. But you're noticing change, and so it makes sense for us to start doing this together.
Yeah.
And then the third piece, so we talked about notices and expectations, is really what we're calling challenges. And this is where we are trying to have fun with it, right? And so, we are going on spring break, and one of her challenges, there'll probably be quite a few, right? But one of her challenges will be ordering off the menu at the restaurant and talking to the waitress herself.
Yes.
Another will be packing her own suitcase after we co-create her packing list.
Yep. And the graduation level challenge, the getting your kyber crystal from the cave and making your own lightsaber, will be, can you wake up, get yourself dressed, as she does now, but then go about your entire morning routine and get out the door without anyone reminding her or asking her or helping her with anything.
Yeah. I mean, that will be a real self indicator, right? That she has made change.
But I love that.
I don't see that happening for a long time.
No, but I love that she has something to think about and work up to.
Yeah. It's one of them, right?
Yeah, of course.
Again,
I think there's probably one for herself, at least one for herself, one for society, and one for, with her peers.
And her family.
Yeah, right. As it relates to the things, though, that I would like to support her with, or is really things that I want to start edging towards this idea of mentor from Concierge. And so that actually looks like things that we need to stop doing for ourselves, right? Like stop ourselves from
So what
doing.
you're talking about is something that I haven't thought about until you mentioned it to me this week, which is, Danielle, how should we change
Right.
given that and in the way that we interact with her?
Well, yes. Given how should we change in the way that we interact with her, and then more broadly, what does this bring up for us in terms of how we change in our like as the next phase of adults, right? Because I believe a lot of this individuation of children is caused by a lack of identity in the parents for anything more than a mom to a little kid or a dad to a little kid. And therefore we're taking care of these children because that's the last major change that happened in our lives, right? Whether we change jobs or, move houses or whatever, like that's not really changing our identity as much as having a child is. And so when we have a child, we don't have adult academy that moves out of this baby phase and into the
Sure.
adolescence. So like, it's right that we need to stop doing things. Like we need to look for what we need to stop doing in order to challenge ourselves around this personal growth opportunity.
It's a great point. So how do you think that we should be challenging ourselves?
Well, I think in society is the main one that comes up for me, which is in any kind of like conflict or opportunity to build connection, which are kind of two sides of the same coin. We need to stand there and be a mentor versus like nudging her or getting involved in the situation and challenging ourselves to do less of the things that she should be doing more of on her own. So some of the things that we could do now would be like start to get a little less involved in the coordination of conflict resolution and be more of the guide on the side.
Right.
Right? So stop solving and start advising.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess in my words, I would say like I've been a facilitator of a lot of the conflict resolution. And now I want her to take initiative. Like we can talk at home about how she might resolve a conflict, but the initiative has to come from her.
Yeah. I think that giving her small opportunities to succeed or fail, I don't know exactly what those are, but I really like this idea that at age 8, failure is very cheap tuition.
I love this idea of becoming a mentor. I'm tired of being a concierge.